Hi, everybody. Welcome to Queers and Soaps. I'm Tommy, and today I'm joined by Eric.
Hi.
We are back for our Gone Too Soon segment tonight for Skin, which aired on
Not
Fox in 2003.
not gone soon enough. Ooh.
Perhaps it was gone just enough time.
Seriously.
um, so yeah, I will roll the credits and we'll get into it. So clearly, Eric is hate watching the show.
All right, so I like the first one, number four, Amberson. I like that episode, but the fifth one, I just was so bored. It
Really?
felt like
No, I
five
was the
hours
opposite.
long.
I felt like I half hated, half liked number four, and I actually kind of liked five.
That's so funny. I don't know, I liked it. And remember, I texted you what I thought.
Yeah.
That it was kind of was, right?
Um, so where do we begin? We have we have that wannabe porn star. Her HIV test came back. I guess he's all on board with her working for him now.
It's
Um,
Darlene, right? Who's
Is that
banging
her
Skip.
name? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that is her name. Um, so she's like prepped and ready to do her first porn. But when she's actually on camera, she seems to like, I don't know, have an emotional reaction, like she's not ready for this. And then after she shoots her first film, she's like crying in front of the mirror. Like you wanted this. You fought for this. Like he didn't want you.
Right. He even paid like was gonna pay your ticket to get back home. Like, dude.
I like how they talk about porn, like I'm gonna make you a star, like it's like an Oscar worthy like movie. Like I guess
Right.
in their niche, that's what they're talking
For
about.
sh
Like
for sure. If you ever look up like porn stars, they have like 100 credits. And I'm like, first of all, it's a lot of sex, but it's a lot of money, like so it is a star in a way.
because they probably average like 10 movies a year versus
Right.
a big budget movie that takes 6 months to film.
It's true. True, true. Probably do like 20 a year, but
um, so there is the original Golden Girl. I like how they keep saying this, but it's not funny. Like I get what they're trying to do, but the joke just kind of like falls flat every time they do it.
I just keep thinking like, oh, B. Arthur's in this. No.
I feel like they do it once every episode, and I'm just like, yeah, I see what you did
All
there.
right. Yeah. Did you see the girl? What's her name? Amber Sin.
Amberson, she looks so familiar. Who is she? I feel like she's a soap opera actress.
She's in a lot of things. So, number one, I had to know if she was a former porn star, and she sure is.
Oh, is she?
She has, yeah, she is. Her friend, wait, I made note of her last porn was in 2010, and it was called Cougar Lesbians.
Oh, wow.
Wait. It's
What is
not
her
over
name?
yet. Her name is Ginger Lynn. Amber
Oh,
Sin,
that sounds
Ginger Lynn.
familiar.
Kind of funny. She is in stuff. I feel like she was in, look her up. She is in a couple, she does like other things too. But I had to make note. So we all know the movies, the Goonies, right?
Hmm.
In 1985, she did one called Poonies.
Ah,
Sorry, that one I had to make note of and say because it was amazing. Um, so yeah, she is a
wow,
total former porn actress.
she was doing
Well, yeah,
porn for like 25 years.
she started. Yeah, her story's kind of interesting. She like went to like California to take care of her grandfather in like 1983 and became a porn star, really, because she has like 100 credits of porn.
Wow.
And she's in other things, like I said, and I wish I wrote some of them down, but I didn't. But she is in other things. She's in like TV shows like this and
I wonder.
other stuff.
I wonder if they if that's why they casted her, because she was supposed to be like their first money maker, like their big star that got the company started. And I wonder for anybody that was watching this back then, if this would have taken off, if that was like to grab the porn audience? Question mark.
Let's get the horny men in and the lesbians.
But she
Yeah,
looks.
it was
You know
funny.
who I kept thinking she was? Dana Ashby
Ashbrook,
Ashbrook. Yeah,
Dana Ashbrook, the
yeah.
mom
I knew
from
it wasn't
OC.
her, but she kept making me think of her, and I'm like, who is this?
Dana Ashbrook was so underused in the OC. They should have kept her around because she is good.
Yeah.
When they, she's a good actress. She's
There
in
was
a lot
also
of
something
things.
about her face that reminded me of Riva from Guiding Light, Kim Zimmer.
Her brother, I believe it's her brother, is in the Twin Peaks that we talked about doing.
Oh
I think,
yes, I know who you're talking about.
yeah, I think that's her brother. I
Oh,
believe
cool.
the Ashbrooks.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I can see the resemblance definitely.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I never knew that they were related, but I know his name and I know her name, and I could see the faces. So
Hmm.
yeah, they
I know. I
should.
can't. I can't think of his name for some reason, but
Yeah,
yeah, I
he's
can't
like
think of.
he played the boyfriend, like Cheryl Lee's
Hmm.
boyfriend.
Yes.
Uh, yeah,
Cute.
I would have loved him in 1990.
You're so funny.
Now, not so much. Back then, yeah, he had the hair.
Flashback. Flashback, Tommy.
uh, so yeah, so she's come around and she's got a lot of demands. I feel like she's playing two ends against the middle
Totally.
because she's trying to get money out of what's his name?
Larry.
Harry?
Larry.
Larry?
Larry.
Larry
Yeah.
Gold. Larry Gold.
The
Yeah.
porn. The porn king.
Yeah. Um
Yeah.
and apparently she at some point had a recurring drug problem, but she says she's clean, and he's like, yeah, we've heard that before. And she says, I'm sober for my son. The minute I saw that child, I was like, that's his kid. Immediately. I was like, that's his kid. The whole
I
episode, I
did
was
it.
like, that's his kid.
I didn't even know. I wasn't into it. So
It's kind of
I
like when
mean,
I have that feeling that somebody's been molested and I know it. I'm just like, no, he touched her.
that's so funny.
It's just like a soap opera trope that I'm like, nope, that's his kid. But then when she met up with him at some point and she said my son, I was expecting her to say our son. And when she didn't, I went, that was the split second I questioned it, but I was like, maybe he doesn't know that's his kid. Like I was
Yeah.
still hung up on that the whole episode. They were saving it for
I
the cliffhanger.
I thought she was gonna end up dead because of the way I think they were on the roof at one point. I'm like, she's dead. She's going over that.
I
But
thought so
she
too
didn't.
when he was like, "Are you wearing a wire?"
Right.
I was like, "Ooh, is she gonna end up dead?" I did have that thought, especially when she was like, I like how they worded it. Are you saying he disappears people?
Yeah. And they didn't say it once. They said it twice.
Yeah.
She said it later on. She's like, he disappeared people. I'm like, do they say it like that?
Are they are they not allowed to say dead on prime time? Like what?
Or they make
Or
people
that he
disappear?
murdered?
Like,
Like
is disappear people a thing? Like, is that called? Like, I don't. You just say missing? Like, I don't know. The way they said it, I thought was really odd, and they did it twice.
yes.
So I guess maybe they do say like talk like that. I don't know.
um.
Weird.
Oh, it became public knowledge, I guess, thanks to Larry, that Cynthia accepted money from him for the campaign.
Hmm.
So it's like this big scandal. And
Laura was pissed.
Laura?
Yeah, that's the mom.
Oh, I thought you were
Yeah.
calling Cynthia Laura, like Laura Layton.
No, that's Tom's wife is Laura.
Okay, yeah. Yes. But
Somebody's got to
she
know names.
she she says you should fire her, but you can't because that'll make the campaign look weak, and
Mm.
so you can't fire her. So I'm I'm 50-50 on how much the wife knows. I feel like she knows that he's fooled around or is fooling around with her, but she's keeping quiet because she's a politician's wife.
Hmm. And she's big too. Like, isn't she like a judge or
She's a
a judge
judge,
or
yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
So she's keeping a secret or two or three.
Because she's letting him do things that I feel like are stupid of her to let him do if she does know. But she has these moments where there's a look where you feel like she knows, but she's not outwardly saying that she knows.
Right.
Um, like when her home got broken into,
Yeah, yeah.
and he says that he has to go there. She's scared. It could be a campaign thing, and he says, "Are you gonna come with me?" And then she goes, "No, just handle it or whatever." And I'm like,
Right.
"Are you doing that because you're like, no, go fuck your mistress, or like what?"
Yeah.
But then she's mad that he didn't call and he sat out all night. Like, so I'm like, I really don't know how to read what she knows and what she doesn't know.
Right. And that's what, like, I felt like there was a lot going on in this episode where the fifth one, is it the fifth? Yeah, like I wasn't sure. I'm like, this, like, it didn't feel the same. Like, it felt like different stories or something.
So I am the least interested in the teens. I
Me
hate them.
too.
I hate them so
Me
much.
too.
And they were promoted as like the draw for the show, and I hate them so much.
Yeah, well, it was a dumb story. Like, there for these two episodes, they were so dumb. I didn't even write anything about them, honestly.
So they were the half of
It
the
was
episode
dumb.
where I struggled, where I was just like, this is a reason why this show was canceled. But then on the flip side, I really like the Amber Sin part. Like
Yeah, I did too.
I was like really engaged in that part. So I was like half and
Same.
half on this episode.
Yeah, I
So
didn't
back to
even write any of
Emerson.
the kids.
Back to Emerson. She's playing both ends. So now she's telling the DA or the DA's office that she knows things. She doesn't know where the bodies are buried, but she knows who buried them pretty much. And that
Yeah.
she wants her record expunged. She wants money to like start over. And they're just like, oh, we can give you a new identity and move you out of town. And she's like, no. And that's when the whole, people disappear. And she's like, are you saying he's disappeared people?
Disappeared people.
That could have been the second
Yeah. Right.
time. And she's like threatening, what's his name? Stimpy, whatever. He has like a weird name.
Oh, Skip.
Skippy, whatever.
Stimpy. Skip is the one that's
Stimpy.
sleeping with Darlene as well. Stimpy.
Um,
What about Ren?
she like calls him and she's like, check the caller ID to like threaten that she's at the DA's office. And right before she's like about to spill everything, a lawyer appears and hands her a paper that says Larry, but just not his name, like his initials, wants to meet with you or whatever. So the lawyer's like, you're not going to be saying anything. We're leaving now. And then she doesn't follow her right away. She's like, now we're leaving.
Yeah.
So yeah, the kids can't stand them. The boy can't remember his name.
AJ? Or no, that's his real name.
Whatever.
AJ.
His ex-girlfriend,
Adam.
apparently he's really good friends with her still, but she's like,
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. Didn't you
super
in
into
the other
him
episodes,
still.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because him and Jules are broken up because she broke up with him because for her father's sake. The mother even had a line like, she broke up with him even though she loved him because she loves you more. So he like, the father goes upstairs while she's sleeping, kisses her on the head, thanks her. But and her dumbass friends who we have never seen, but apparently she has friends, are saying that he's probably already moved on to another girl. She calls him and the girl answers the phone because they're at like a club or something. So then Jewel, I almost called her Juliet. Jewel goes to the club and this girl's like drunk and throwing herself all over him, like, hey baby, and like making a scene. So she thinks that he's moved on, like her friend said.
Yeah.
I love some teen drama. I love One Tree Hill, love 90210, love it, love it, love it.
Yeah, same.
This is not on this level. I hate this so much. It's not well executed. I hate it.
Mm-hmm. It really isn't. And that's all that happened, I feel like, in that one. It was Jake, Joel's little brother, who read the email that
Who I
that
forgot
I thought was
existed.
funny.
I was like, where did this brother come
Me
from?
too. Me too. But you know what?
I think he was in the pilot.
He owned that scene, that like those scenes with her, because like he kept like this. He's hey ugly, like when he walked in, like stuff like that, and with him doing the email thing, like he's the one that like brought out how they broke up or whatever. And
Uh-huh.
I don't know where this kid came from, but he's funny. Like I thought he was the best part of that storyline.
I think he was in the pilot, if I'm really thinking hard about it. But
I don't remember him, not even a little bit. I don't
when I
remember
first
him at
saw him, I
all.
was like, "There's a brother." I'm like, "What?"
Me too. His name is Jake. I caught his name, and I'm like,
It just shows
he
you
stole
how
the
bad
show.
we're not paying attention to this. We're just like, oh.
Seriously, I tried really hard. Like episode 4, I watched nonstop. 5, I was like, I'm like playing on my phone. I'm like, I gotta watch this.
Is that when you texted me that you should get paid to watch this?
Seriously. If I wasn't a completist, I definitely wouldn't complete the series. But
We're
I did
already
too.
we were already texting what we could watch after this. We're like, so over it. We're just like,
Oh my gosh. 3 more episodes. I might have to do one at a time.
that'll elongate the torture.
The pain.
Um,
Uh,
so I think that covered everything in the first episode.
yeah, my
I'm so
next
yeah.
notes for the next episode, I have 5 things written. Yeah,
See, and I feel
I
like I
don't even
really
remember
like
it.
this episode. Um,
All right, well, tell me what happened.
so
Fill me in.
the woman that's been in everything that works for Tom is like not
The
believing
woman,
that she was that Cynthia's
oh,
apartment
Michelle
was taken.
Hurd, the
Yeah,
cop.
yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
She she's just like she did it herself. She's like she knew that you would come running to her and back into her bed if you felt like you had to protect her or whatever.
Yeah, that
And
was
now
nice.
he's like not trusting her. He confronts
I
her
don't trust
about
her
it.
either. I feel like it's Laura Leighton, so we know what she's capable of.
Yeah, in some of her line delivery, she did sound a little unhinged, and I'm like, there's Sydney.
Yeah. Again, like you said, you don't hire Laura Leighton and not give her anything to do, so
Yeah.
I'm assuming she'll do some
Although
shit.
the caveat to that is I feel like the New Dynasty hired Laura Leighton and didn't really do much with her. I feel like she was in that
Yeah,
one
that's
episode,
true.
and it was just kind of like,
Yeah.
that's what you did, really.
Yeah, even Daphne Zuniga's episodes were a little bit better. If she was in at least 2, I think.
Oh, was she?
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, so he confronts her about it, and she gets a little erratic, and she's just like, "I didn't do this." She's like, "And if you tell anybody this," she's like, "I'll sue you for sexual harassment." She's like, "I won't tell anybody about our affair, but I'll sue you for sexual harassment if you push this."
Yeah.
um, and then she further plays into this like theory that she did it to herself when she's like, she wants your wife to know. Look at her. She's like, she's talking to your wife right in front of the glass for you to see. Like she's just flaunting it.
Yeah.
But then Cynthia confronts Michelle Hurd, the actress.
Yeah. Yeah,
um,
I don't know. I didn't catch her name for some reason.
and she tries to like defend herself. So then Michelle Hurd's character starts thinking about it, and she wonders if maybe something was planted since nothing was taken. And sure enough, there was a camera planted in the apartment. And then we
Yep.
see Larry watching it with the guy that did it. And we hear her say on camera that they've been having an affair for 6 months, like just flat out
Right.
saying, which makes me think, do you think Cynthia works for Larry?
Um, I don't think yet, but possibly. I thought she was gonna do that eventually, flip
Right.
flop.
But Larry's pissed because he's like, I can't use this. He's like, you got it by breaking into her apartment. He's like, I can't use this. I'll be in jail for a felony.
Right. That was my favorite part actually when Tom threatened them. I like that. But I think that was at the end, so
When Tom threatened Larry.
yeah. When he was like, if you take me down, I'm taking you right there with me. So like he's got shit on him, he's got shit on him. So I do like that part.
So Amberson wants Larry to see his son like every other week. And he doesn't want to commit to that. And basically the deal is he'll see him 4 times a year or 3 times a year. And she had a line where she's like, really? She's like, he'll go to the dentist more than he'll see his son.
Yeah, it's true.
Again, was not interested in the teens at all.
Nope.
But the boy ends up trying to defend himself. He climbs into her window when she won't talk to him. And she's like, how do I know you're telling the truth? You've moved on. And I guess he's wearing the watch that she gave him at some point. I remember that. I was like, oh yeah, she gave him that watch.
Right. Yeah, I knew they got back together. I think they were in bed or something. I thought I
Yeah, she's
remembered
like,
them being.
my parents will kill you if they see you in my room. And I'm like, you guys like he like did this once before and you guys are like fucked. Like
Yeah, right.
um
Made love.
and he was like, would I have climbed into your room if I was just gonna move on after this? So then they
Right.
make up, they get back together, and he comes up with the plan. Oh, this may have been in the fourth episode. Yeah, this was in
I
the
don't
fourth episode
remember.
because he comes up with the plan that the way that they could be together is for everybody else to think that they're not together.
Mm.
So this episode was them pretending to be dating other people so that they could have like alibis and then meet up.
So he's gonna pretend to date his ex-girlfriend. That's a smart idea.
Who is not being cooperative at all. She says she's going to be
No.
helpful, and then when she's in front of Jewel, she's a bitch.
Right.
And I hate her.
Probably because she wants it back. Oh, and that boy, I looked him up. His name's Adam on the show as DJ something in real life. Um, he was in. Did you watch the Shazam movies?
Hmm.
He's one of the ones when they like Adam Brody. Like he's one of them
Oh,
when they turn in. Yeah,
okay.
he's the Hispanic one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of cool. I'm like, oh shit.
I thought he looked familiar.
I love. Yeah, me too. And that's why I did look it up. I love those movies. By the way.
Did you so Golden Video or whatever it's called is making some kind of like gladiator porn with their current star, who now Larry is all about. What's her name?
Darlene.
Darlene.
Mm.
And he sees her on set and now he wants to make her the star of this movie. And they're like, how are we going to break it to our current star who's becoming OLD? I like how they spelled old instead of saying it.
Who was the current star? Did we see her?
We did. It was the blonde girl. You didn't recognize her?
Oh yes, yes,
She's
yes,
from True
yes.
Blood.
I never seen that, but I do.
You
I
never
did
seen True Blood?
recognize her. I wanted to look her up. But remember, I was half watching this. I was just like, is it over yet?
Wait, hold on. I'm still stuck on you never saw True Blood?
No, I never did.
Totally shocked.
Why?
I don't know. I just feel like you like horror movies and it was a popular show.
You must watch True Blood.
No,
I didn't have HBO.
we mustn't because I hate that show so much.
Oh,
I
you
watched it
hate
to
True
a bitter,
Blood.
bitter end and I hated it.
Oh gosh. Why did you watch it? Well, that was like me and Desperate Housewives too.
Yeah,
Last season was
I also
painful.
hate watch Desperate Housewives for like the last 3 seasons.
I loved it until season 8. I thought it was terrible. It should have ended in 7. But I
Uh,
love Vanessa Williams. She was the only one that made it for me in that season.
okay, so True Blood had 7 seasons. I would say the first 4, maybe 5 were good, and then 6 was bad and 7 sucked.
Yeah, sometimes it's overkill. They try to make it until it's suffering. It's
Yeah.
bad. Like they
Um,
want to bring Desperate Housewives back, and I'm not all about it. I'm like, leave it
mm,
alone.
yeah, I'm
Just
good.
leave it alone.
I don't need it to come back. It was fine.
Right.
Anyway, back to Skin. I was about to say, what are we watching? What are we talking about?
What is it?
Yeah, so the main girl that they're trying to replace, I knew her from True Blood. That's how we got on that.
Do you
She's
know her
just
name? You don't know her name.
not off the top of my
Is it
head.
Kristen Bauer? No.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, I know her from something, but it's not True
No,
Blood.
she's
Can't remember
she's
what.
known for other things. I just can't think of it off the top of my head.
Yeah, I forget.
Because it was like a big
She
deal
did
that
look familiar.
it was on True Blood, so she must be known for something else.
Okay.
Um, so she's not happy when she gets wind that they're trying to replace her. And he suggests that a whole older sister, younger sister scenario, and she's like insulted by this, but she gives in. Um, we also have it being Larry's wife's birthday, and her best friend apparently is the ex-wife of Skip. And she's like, I don't know how you handle it. The business is what tore us apart. She's like, I just couldn't trust like all those women around him. And Larry's wife is just basically like, I have to not question it and just trust him. She's like, otherwise it'll drive me crazy. But she goes to the office and she sees like one of the porn stars like throwing herself like at him. And the old woman secretary is just like, oh, did he know you were coming? I could tell him that you're here. I can interrupt his meeting. Like, like it's not porn. Like it's just this old woman secretary.
That older woman secretary I do know. Her name's Patty McCormick.
Okay.
She is in a lot. She was in Dallas.
Really? Was she a secretary?
Yeah. No, she was actually involved with Mitch when he was a doctor, Lucy's husband.
Hmm.
She's in a show called The Ropers, which is a spinoff of Three's Company.
Mm-hmm.
And she was the original Bad Seed, if you know classic movies. It's a 60s movie, I believe. Where she's like this evil little girl that like kills people.
Oh.
But yeah, she's pretty big. She's in a lot. And she most recently, well, not recently, maybe 5 years ago, stepped in for Leslie Charlton on General Hospital as Monica Quartermaine for like a month.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she's still around. Patty McCormick gets around, and she's actually in a play right now. My friend Eddie met her last week, so she still gets around.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
I'm surprised in this part because it's a small part for her in Skin, and I'm like, I wonder why, because she does other like big things.
I have to look it up because I thought it, but since you weren't paying attention, you probably don't know. They were at the high school, and there was a group of guys that like were like talking to Jewel as she's trying to find her new fake boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
And one of them looked like Daniel from The Young and the Restless. And I think he came on YNR in 2004, so it could have been him.
It probably is.
What is his name? The actor?
Oh, totally blank. I knew you were gonna ask that, and I'm like, I can't think of it. I know. I'm getting like worse with names. I used to know everybody's name.
All right, I'm on Wikipedia right now, but I have to go through.
I like him too. But just like Google Daniel Young and the Restless.
Is his last name Romalotti?
Yes. Daniel Romalotti.
There you go. All right, the actor is Michael Grazadeh. Grazadeh?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, I knew it was.
His
They call him Graz, I
his
think.
TV show, Young and the Restless. No. Well, it's not listed on Wikipedia, but that does not mean that he was not on there. So we got to go to
Check
IMDb.
IMDb. Yeah, check out IMDb. They always have like the little tiny things. But then if he's uncredited, they do have uncredited, but he could have been uncredited in that.
I don't even know if he had lines, honestly.
Yeah, he might have been just an extra then. He might not be.
But it doesn't mean it wasn't him. Because sometimes IMDb will put that. It'll say uncredited.
Well, they can, like, celebrities can be in charge of their own IMDb and put whatever they want on and take things off, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I put things on before for people. So if I can do it, I'm sure celebrities can do it.
Look at you filling out people's resumes.
I did. I had I got oh, never mind.
It was him. It was.
There you go.
Skin.
Good eye.
6.5. Because it just looked like him back then. Like he had the haircut and everything. And I was like,
What does it say? Boy in Hall?
It doesn't even say a character. It just says one episode. It's actually wrong. It says one episode 2005. This was from 2005. Unless that's when it aired on SoapNet.
That is. Yep.
Because these didn't air on Fox.
Yeah, they count it from like 2003 to 5 because it aired on SoapNet in 5.
Yeah, it actually says TV miniseries. One episode 2005. No character.
That's funny. No character.
I knew it. I knew it was him.
He has a distinct look. I mean, yeah, I'm sure he was
I'm not
way
always good with
younger.
names, but I know when I know a face. I know when I've met somebody.
Like I knew that person. I knew that person.
I don't know how I know you, but I know you.
Right?
Anyway, back to the show, I guess.
Are we done?
Jewel brings her fake boyfriend to the club, and he
Hmm.
brings his ex-girlfriend against Jewel's wishes. And he's like, "What's with this guy? Who's this guy?" And she's like, "He's gay." She's like, "What's up with this girl? your ex-girlfriend?" So then she's like, "We're gonna go to the girls' room because girls can't go by themselves." And she drags the girl, and she's like, "All right, what's your problem? What's the story? Like, do you love him? Like, what's happening?" And she's just a bitch to her. She's like, "I'll let you figure it out." She's like, "He'll do to you what he did to me." And she's like, "Oh, so you're just waiting for us to like break up?" And she's like, "Well, if with any luck, I won't have to do anything." So she's just a complete bitch,
Right.
and I hate her, and I hate all of them, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even write anything down after that certain point.
um,
I'm like, I wish I knew what you're talking about. I don't
you tuned out. All right, so it's Larry's wife's birthday. He throws her a party.
I
He
do
asks her
remember this part.
He asks
They
her
had
what
a
she
sweet
wants for
moment
her
at the end.
birthday. She says nothing. Earlier in the episode, when she was with her friend who was married to Skip, she's like, he'll probably just buy me jewelry like he always does. Um, at the party, he makes a big show and he's like, she wouldn't tell me what she wanted. And I saw this and thought of her. So I got two and she gets to pick which one she wants. And it's like this big diamond necklace, earrings, whatever.
Right.
Um, her friend has a little bit too much to drink. She's throwing herself at Skip. He's turning her down because then she starts talking about like how he's always sleeping around with everybody on set, and then she starts accusing Larry of sleeping around. She's like, that's what they do with their little porn stars. Makes a whole big
Like they
scene.
do.
But this plants doubt in Larry's wife's mind. I don't know her name, that's why I
Barbara.
call her Larry's
Barbara.
wife.
Barbara.
Barbara. um he ends up giving her a present, and he's like, this is your real present, the diamonds were for show. And I don't know what it was. It was something from their first date, so it was very touching.
It
And
was sweet.
it was sweet. And I thought it was a sweet scene, but also he was lying to her because she flat out asked him, "Have you ever cheated on me?" And he says no. Meanwhile, he has a 5-year-old with another woman. So within the
Yeah,
past 5 years or 6 years, you've cheated on her. So
I think that was my last note. I put Barbara asked Larry if he cheated, and I put lies, of course. That was my
lies, of course. um, I think that's pretty much all I have. There's 3 episodes left. I can't wait for it to be over.
Me either.
And
I
we
like the
haven't mentioned
wives, but
anything about
they're not
Vincent
on
who's
enough.
in jail. Like, since
Right.
we had the pilot and 1 episode. We're now 5
Yep.
episodes in, and he's been in 2 episodes. That's it.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. It
So
just
either
I
they're
don't
never
know.
gonna show him again, or maybe he'll be in one more episode.
You know what? It almost feels like they got picked up as a pilot and then just didn't know what to do. That's what it feels like, and they're
Yeah.
just like throwing things together to make sure. Like it just doesn't feel like a good
And
show.
you know
Like
what? I thought this. I was like, okay, 8 episodes were filmed. Fox canceled it after 2. Did Fox? Because you know how like people will get screeners before it airs. Did Fox
right.
see the quality of the show and they were just like, no, people are not gonna like this. Just pull it. Like, call it a day.
They they could have, and I know the ratings I don't think were good. Um,
Oh, really?
Back then I used to look on the futoncritic.com. I don't even know if it's a thing anymore. But I would always look and see how ratings did to see if shows were going to get canceled, so I know if I should keep watching or not. And I do remember the ratings being pretty low for that. I can't remember. There was something else that started that same time.
In
I
2000,
wanted,
this was 2003. So
was it Pasadena?
The OC had started that summer.
There was two things I watched that night. It might have been Pasadena and that. It was something in that, and I watched both of them.
Pasadena was 2001.
Was it that long ago? Damn.
Yeah.
Well, there was something else paired with it, and I watched both of them, and they were both canceled like pretty quick.
Was it Fastlane?
It could have been. Was that 2003?
2002 or 2003.
Then probably not, because that was only a season too.
Yeah. I
I
like
don't know.
Fastlane.
Of
I
course you
I
did. You
I
love Tiffany Amber.
understand why it was canceled, but like I liked it.
Yeah, it was good. I liked it.
You know I love me some Tiffany Amber Thiessen. So
Yeah.
all right. Well, did I hit all 5 of your notes?
Yeah, definitely.
And then some.
And a lot more. Honestly, it's bad. Like I really couldn't remember the episode. I thought I might, but nope.
All right, folks. So we're either gonna do one more at a time, or maybe we'll just do all three and just finish this shit. But
Uh,
we'll have to talk
maybe I'll
about
watch
it
one a
offline.
day.
But thank you for struggling through this with us. As always, you can find us on all the socials at Queers and Topes. And until next time, have a great night. Bye.
Bye.